People, deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe. I know people, we're tired of transfer news and rumours and whatnot, and we want to see Arsenal sign players. And again, I don't know what Mikel Arteta and they do are planning, but I do hope, and I'm pretty sure that, this time in a month's time, by, July the 23rd, we would have signed someone. As to whether they're good enough, someone we wanted, who knows? As you lot know, 99.9% of these transfer rumours are BS. Obviously, the journalists are scrambling for content, and they know they can play on football fans, not just Arsenal fans' heartstrings, and link us with a number of players, some more realistic than others. But it does provide good talking points. If you guys will give me a second, I'll share my screen and we'll go over this. Apparently, Mendes is helping us to sign Gyökeres. Lol, we're interested in Eze, and there's a couple of other things. I'm quite bored of talking about Nico Williams. We love him, but we can have a quick overview of that. We've actually also been linked with Kimmich again, people, which again, as I said, it's easy to link us with these players. Now, if I share my screen, yep, it's finally done it. I don't know if the journalists or the ITKs know what they're speaking about, but to be fair to Team News and Ticks, I think that's a great name, actually. He does seem to be very accurate. I'm in no way endorsing. I don't know who he knows or doesn't know. I always say, until we see footballers, in Arsenal's case, being pictured around the training ground, pictured at the Emirates, holding scarves, saying that they used to grow up watching Thierry Henry, Ian Wright, Tony Adams, Dennis Bergkamp, the list goes on. Who knows? Now, it would whet the appetite seeing Eze sign for Arsenal, returning home, once a Gooner, always a Gooner, come home. And it's a fantastic story in which football's a funny old game of opinions. At some point, he got released by Millwall, released by Arsenal, went on trial at a number of clubs. That didn't work out. Done his thing at QPR, where you saw I did a video many years on that. Crystal Palace have bought him. He's a Premier League household name, one of the most exciting players to watch, I believe, in the Premier League, and been capped by the country. And if and when this move happens, going to be sold for 60-odd million. We did once upon a time have Eze and Harry Kane. Now, everything in life happens for a reason, but you are wondering, obviously, it's not, you can't predict stars at 10 years of age and them kind of ages there, but one has to wonder, imagine if these lot came through the academy. Anyways, moving on, Team News and Ticks on his Patron page has said, I've been told by two unconnected people Arsenal are looking at Eze. I know lots of people at the club like him. Eze has a very affordable release clause around 60 million, but a large amount of the clause has to be paid up front. Now, whether Arsenal can pay up front, I'm not sure. And it does seem, where Eze is concerned, some reports and some people say he's got a release clause, some say he don't. If he does, then obviously you put the money down, assuming the player wants to sign for us. That helps us. If he doesn't, we have to negotiate with Crystal Palace, and they're about to lose Eze to Bayern Munich. I'm sure they don't want to lose, two of their attacking players, especially when they got a new gaffer in one window. Obviously, Mark Guéhi is a defender, but he's also linked with a move away. And I'm sure if you're Crystal Palace, obviously players can make moves. With every game that Eze and Olise and Guéhi play, the bigger clubs, respectfully to Palace, are looking at them, and you can't hide them essentially. But I think going into the summer, the club would have probably said, ideally would have loved to have kept their key players. They've got Wharton. I'm sure they want to add some more, but they probably said one of the three of Eze, Guéhi and Olise to move on this summer. Two, it gets a bit ridiculous. So, I mean, who wouldn't want Eze? Can play on the left wing, can play as a left eight. Although right-footed, that tends to move to the left. The dribbling skills, great on the transition, lovely technical level, capable of just banging it from 30 yards. His short range passing, his link-up play is spot on. He's a great player, man. And obviously, he's in his mid to early 20s, so he's young and impressionable with a willingness to learn that fits the remit. And he's obviously homegrown. We know Eddie and Nketiah, Smith Rowe, these players, and many more, Nelson, these players are being linked with moves away. Let me know your thoughts on Eze. Smash the like button, and if you want, I might as well make a dedicated video for Eze, as we've been doing in the last couple of weeks / months, people. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. But then once you start getting into the Guéhis and Eze's away from Olise, obviously we've gone over Olise. If you don't know, apparently he's chosen to join Bayern Munich. Great that he hasn't gone Chelsea. I did think he might go Man United one day, but it is what it is. Apparently, Olise, according to Sky Sports, now nobody knows unless you're Crystal Palace, Arsenal, or the close people within football in many realms. Us fans, we don't know. It's essentially guesswork. Now, I'm more likely to actually believe Team News and Ticks, if I'm honest, than necessarily generally Sky Sports. But apparently Olise is the only one with a release clause. So Eze, if he were to depart, apparently if a club offers 70 million for him or upwards of that, people. So are Arsenal going to do that? I didn't necessarily think he would be the midfield profile Mikel Arteta was keen on. I think there's a lot of transferables. I can understand why minimize the demand of him. But yeah, people, you know, Eze will have to see in that regards. And I don't think we're signing Guéhi, quality player, great centre half. Would love him at the club, you know, to put pressure on Saliba and Gabriel and tie into the squad. But for Guéhi, you know, that's a solid defensive partnership and a solid, you know, duo. Are you gonna, if you know, if you make the step up, of course you're gonna have to back yourself to break in. But do you see yourself, you know, taking Saliba's spot or Gabriel's? You might have to wait out a bit. Where you look at Man United, who he's been linked with, you're a shoo-in to go play there. Obviously, the way Arsenal are moving, the way Man United look at this moment in time, we're in two different spaces. But that is something to consider. And Crystal Palace are gonna make good money. You know, Guéhi, obviously they signed him for whatever, gonna make money. Eze, they bought him for, you know, peanuts to QPR compared to 60-70 odd million. I'm pretty sure they bought Olise for 8 million quid from Reading, making mad money really. And Wharton's just got his feet under the door at Blackburn, still being linked with Arsenal and City. So he's probably one that the clubs will watch for his development in years to come, if not sooner. Rashford apparently is, well, Man United are open to selling Marcus Rashford if they receive an offer. For some reason, though, you know, Arsenal have been linked with Rashford. It's easy to link Rashford with Arsenal. I've done a video on that. But, you know, it does feel like Rashford's been a bit of a debate within the Arsenal fan base. So let me know your thoughts. Would you take Marcus Rashford or not? Because some think, you know what, if Mikel Arteta, as he's shown, if he waves his magic wand on Rashford, you know, we could get a player. But then it's a big risk. He's 26. Is he going to change his ways if he hasn't already? And I'm talking about fully on the pitch. Been linked with PSG and Arsenal, as you lot know. Again, Man United and Arsenal have been linked with Bologna's Joshua Zirkzee. They won't go away. Apparently, Rashford's determined to repair his relationship with Ten Hag. So again, that probably means that move won't happen. Keeping up the theme with Man United and Arsenal, apparently Man United, in my 29 years, yeah, way before City was spending money or Arsenal were buying Declan Rice for 100 odd million, and to a degree, even Chelsea with Roman Abramovich, you know, never did I think you would ever see a sentence saying Manchester United have been priced out of a player, you know. So I'm not sure, but apparently they've been priced out of a move for Doué. Arsenal remain interested, and actually I don't have the report to hand, but he's aggressively being linked with PSG. I would love him at the club. Don't know if that's going to get done. Once again, we're still linked with Kimmich. Apparently, we're one of 5 clubs interested in him. He's in the last 12 months of his deal, and it's very interesting to see what will happen with the 29-year-old. Real Madrid, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Barcelona allegedly have been interested in him. Apparently, he's got no problem playing at Bayern Munich next season without signing an extension. It'll be very interesting to see where his future lies. Nico Williams is asking for a high salary to move to another club. Well, if you perform how you did for Spain against Italy, you can get paid whatever you want, in my opinion. Allegedly, Jorge Mendes is acting as an intermediary to bring Gyökeres to Arsenal. The deal, according to sources, is close to being completed after negotiations advanced rapidly in recent days, and it's expected there'll be news by the end of the month. Now, 1 minute Arsenal not going for a striker, then we are. Again, I don't think Arsenal are paying his release clause. You can't actually rule out him getting a new deal at Sporting Lisbon. So, in short, people, who really knows? But I would like him. This was obviously a follow-up tweet from the 21st of June, which said Arsenal are about to secure his signature for below his 100 million euros release clause. Apparently, we've agreed on a fixed amount of 90 million euros, which could rise to 120 after add-ons based on goals, appearances, trophies, and, you know, depending on what we do in that regards, people. Once again, Barcelona, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool have all looked at Nico Williams. His release clause seems to fluctuate. Now, Ben Jacobs is saying it's 45 million, people. Is viewed as good value, which I believe it is. However, his high wages make any deal difficult. To be fair, at 21, as I said, if you're announcing yourself in the footballing world the way you're playing, then I think 200 odd grand a week or whatever you're seeking is fair value, especially if you could tie him to a 4 or 5 year deal. But then, you know, if he was to sign for Arsenal and he plays like that and he plays like the man we want to see within that 4 or 5 year deal, naturally him and his agents are going to say, yo, we need a new deal. And obviously that has ramifications for the existing Salibas, Declan Rice, Odegaard, Saka, the more upper echelon kind of players within the squad, and obviously potential players to bring in. Now it's the going rate. In theory, just like in any business, if you want the best, you have to pay the best, and you have to pay the best. You know, you have to pay for the best, and you have to pay the best. It is what it is, people, really, in that regards. So yeah, so, you know, Romano has said, for what I'm told, some big English clubs made contact with people close to Williams 2, 3 or 4 weeks ago. He's appreciated by people at Chelsea and by people at Arsenal too. Many clubs have moved to understand the situation. And he did recently come out, I believe yesterday, and say, I signed a new deal a few weeks ago. I'm actually shocked to see that I'm linked with several clubs in speculation over my future. So we'll have to see. Anyone taking Calafiori, you know, the Bologna man, you know, it's a shame that there's the Euros because his price tag is set to go up. Apparently, he could have been sold for around 21.5 1.3 million quid. I know he scored an own goal, but he could be a versatile defender that could do well for Arsenal. Now, Italian players, in my opinion, yes, there's exceptions to the rule. They generally stay in Italy, but Arsenal, we've shopped well in Italy before. You know, Tomiyasu's done his thing, been linked with Joshua Zirkzee. Obviously, they play for the same club, so you'd imagine there'd been a scouting report over him. I don't think Arsenal's signing him because it seems like if we are to bring another defensive reinforcement, it's a left back. But if it was up to me, a versatile defender would be great. So yeah, people. I would love him at the club, really. I say that about everyone. Who wouldn't want these players? So let me know your thoughts on Eze, on potentially Gyökeres, and everything else we've discussed. People, don't forget to check out the rest of the content. As usual, rest assured, if there's any videos or news, you know I'm going to get live streams and videos and all of those things up for you. Make sure you're following all the socials. Links are in the description. But most importantly, people, away from commenting, make sure you leave a comment. Most importantly, appreciative for you lot listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you're having a blessed day, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on the time zone you're in and where you're from. Your support is the world, people. We've got 60-odd thousand subscribers. The journey to 70 and beyond is alive and kicking, and I can't do it without you lot. So yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace.